anyways, okay, so number 3, Superman, pre-Electro Superman. So this is old, because this would be the time when he was the Electric Superman. Which I meant to research on, because, like, I don't know the full extent. Like, I know he was similar to the Ray. Anyways, why he's number 3. This guy's name pretty much says it all. We've already seen the power the Flash has in his command with super speed. So when you mix in super strength, heat vision, invulnerability, and the other dozen powers that Soup's command, he becomes fairly unbeatable. Okay, good point. Versus Wonder Woman. Now this would be a cool fight. Fairly evenly matched with flight, strength, and speed. Soup's is just a little tougher, a little faster, and just a tad stronger. While Deanna would eventually tire, while Soup's living solar battery with enough power reserves to be the one barely standing at the end of the battle. I have to agree with that. I want to read this one just real quick because I know you're going to have a comment on this and I want to let you make it. I'm going to read Versus the Hulk. We actually saw this already in Marvel vs. DC number 3, which saw Soup's coming out on top. Wow, wait. I'm sorry. I got to go to Diana's Versus the Hulk. I was like, what? Okay. Versus the Hulk. This is Wonder Woman versus the Hulk. Because I know you made this comment earlier, and I want you to make it because I think that's a good one. Well, the two were pretty evenly matched, super strength-wise, right there. That's all I wanted to read from
Superman, the Incredible Hulk would tear her in half. Like,
yeah,
he's so much stronger, and he has no ceiling on his strength. Like Superman, even he has a limit. The Hulk, as he continues to not beat her over time, he would just get more and more angry.
The Hulk is anywhere from
pulverized her.
Evenly matched with Superman to could easily become stronger, depending on how mad he gets. She is... I don't think she's, like, okay, she's close to as strong as Superman, but I don't think as close as they say. Like, I've said, my example of it is, she's basically strength-wise, like, female. Like, you know, if you take the average man and the average woman, like, the man is, like, a little bit stronger, just because it's frame. It's built differently, you know, like, the whole stuff. Like, you know, a woman has more power in her legs, just the frame, but a man's stronger, like, all this kind of stuff.
I think it's kind of the thing of, Wonder Woman is almost as strong as Superman when he's holding back.
Yeah.
When he lets go.
When he's fighting her, she's almost as strong. But I don't think she's...
Yeah, but when he's fighting
she's
Doomsday,
almost as strong as fighting Doomsday. Yeah.
Darkseid,
because Doomsday
is definitely more powerful.
Doomsday is the only time he's ever had an all-out fight let loose. Now, he has fought Darkseid, like, he's not pulled punches, but that wasn't an all-out fight. That was, I'm going to punch you a few times, not holding back. But the only time, to my recollection, that he's ever just... I know, like, halfway through the Doomsday fight, he just stopped holding back. He basically said, I'm no longer responsible for what happens. This thing is just a monster. I'm no longer morally or consciously obligated to respect the life within it. Because he's like, it's basically anti-life. Like, it lives only to destroy. So he stopped pulling back. His heat vision, his super speed, his breath, his strength, everything. He did not care how much pain he inflicted on Doomsday. I think that's the only time he's ever done that. Now with Darkseid, he has hit him as hard as he can, but there's a little bit of a difference. Like, he didn't go like Savage Mind on him.
Yeah,
like, he basically, Superman went Batman on Doomsday. Yeah. Like, that's the one time, like, I wish Batman would fight like, or Superman would fight like Batman. He did against Doomsday, and that's the only thing that saved his life. So yeah, like, when Superman's fighting her, I would say, yeah, I agree, she's almost as strong. But you gotta know, like, when you're wrestling, there can be someone who's like outpowering you, but like if you were actually in a fight for your life, you would kill them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's sometimes because of the adrenaline, like, you would have that ledge. Like, yeah, we're wrestling.
Like
I can't.
A drowning man can bring down 3 people.
So I do not think that she is as strong as the Hulk. I think that the Hulk could rip her arms off.
Beat her with them.
I almost said it, but okay. So Superman was number 3. Now here's where it gets a little more controversial. Okay, so Superman is number 3. Number 2 is Thor. And now the whole Thor, Superman, Captain Marvel, Hulk. I got on YouTube and there's like tons of videos. Those 4, like, people like to debate them. Hulk, Thor, Superman, Captain Marvel, and Hulk.
Those ones against each other
and so there's a lot of talk about it. I think they're not the best. Okay, anyways, why he's number 2? This guy is a Norse god warrior, trained and skilled in the art of battle, and he's been doing it for countless ages. Give him a magical hammer with the power over the elements, and he's unbeatable. Almost. Okay, so versus Superman. While Supes has the edge in speed and flight, Thor gets pulled by his hammer. He doesn't really fly. Okay, so that's why they're saying Superman's faster. Once again,
just because you fly doesn't make you faster. Because Flash doesn't fly either. He's way faster.
Yeah, while Supes has the edge, but he has the edge because I guess they're arguing that there'd be more maneuverability and stuff like that. Rather, because if you're being pulled by something rather than okay, well, whatever.
If you're flying up in the air and he has control over the elements within the air, you're not exactly safe.
Yeah, but at the same time, like Storm, she's not that fast of a flyer because it's really just wind pushing her, and wind can only get so much over a couple, a few hundred miles.
240 miles.
Yeah, and so compared to other characters. But anyways, once again, Thor's warrior training and combat experience would give him the edge he needs to have more of his blows connect, eventually laying the Kryptonian flat. It's all in the name. Superman, Thor, God of Thunder. Okay, see, some of their logic is dumb. The other one we said went into it in better detail. They were talking about how he has some ultimate attack stuff too, how
make the Juggernaut go back.
Yeah, he has I can't remember what it was called, but it had the word God, something God, some kind of strike that actually made the Juggernaut go backwards. So they're saying that he has some aces up his sleeve that he doesn't use all the time
because nothing could withstand it. I don't think. I mean, when you're making the Juggernaut go backwards, and he's supposed to be the unstoppable Juggernaut.
Okay, number one. And I like what the other article had to say about this character a lot better, and I took that into heart with mine. This is why. Okay, so anyways, Silver Surfer, number one. Why he's number one? The Surfer is the fringe character that separates humanity from the omnipotence of Galactus or eternity, making him tops on our list. His power cosmic is so powerful that it's not a matter of what the Surfer can do; it's what he can't. Matter manipulation, the power reserves of stars, traveling at light speed. He may even be able to create life. Where'd they come? Did they just make that up?
Because he's gone to planets and reinstated life into them before. Okay. So that might be what they're referring to.
Maybe. He's truly in a power class of his own. Versus Diana says, Diana may be a better fighter, but the Surfer is faster, tougher, more powerful. Okay, so versus Thor. Surfer's power cosmic is fairly evenly matched with, and you gotta pronounce the hammer, I can never pronounce it. Mjolnir. Whose magical I guess I can pronounce it, I can just never remember how it's pronounced. Yeah. Magical properties aren't affected by the universe's laws of physics, which would deflect the Surfer's power for a while. While Surfer couldn't do much physical damage to Thor, Thor would hammer the Surfer unconscious if he could hit him. Even though Mjolnir could block Surfer's powerful blasts, some would eventually land. As the battle progressed, more and more of the Surfer's blows would connect until one super blast of the power cosmic would put him down for the count. And the worst part, the Surfer, one of the most noble spirits in the universe, would search the rubble after the fight, grab Mjolnir, and head off to Disney World. See, they're being stupid. But
so the thing is, the hammer would have to choose him.
Yeah, I know, and that's why, with the exception of the Hulk, no one's been able to pick it up but him.
Well, Captain America's lifted it, but it was only because the hammer let them.
Okay.
And not Daredevil, but Wolverine's picked it up. And
why would it let Wolverine? Really, Tony let Tony pick it up?
He was wearing the Iron Man armor.
But still, he's not noble. He's one of my favorite characters, but he's not I can see Captain America, because I seriously doubt if Steve Rogers has ever done anything that he didn't think was the right thing. So that's a noble heart. So even if he did something wrong, he thought it was right. You know, his heart told him it was right. But seriously, Silver Surfer. What's his name? Tony. Okay, here's what I have to say about this. I like the Other Things version of it much better because it talked about how they had him, I think, at 3, Silver Surfer at 3, and the reasoning was, and both the links again will be on the site. The reason that they had him at 3 instead of 1 is because they said, yeah, he probably could be number 1, but he's inconsistent. Sometimes they gave an example of one time he was beating these two
Beyonder level.
Yeah, something gods that were they said Galactus, the power level of Galactus. He beat 2 of them at the time, But then in another issue, he gets knocked out by Thing. Thing's very strong, arguably as strong as Hulk or whatever, but it's another conversation.
When making statements like that, though, just like kind of being the devil's advocate, there's circumstances always involved, and sometimes, like, it's like, I could beat up 2 people your size if I trick them.
That's true, but not with this kind of thing. Like, the whole idea is if he's basically power incarnate, that's different.
That's true.
There's a difference between, like, you know, I took on a guy who is, like, a huge, like, UFC fighter, but then this 12-year-old kid beat me up because he kicked me between the legs when I wasn't looking. There's a difference between that and them saying, like, he's, like, invulnerable, he's so, like, power incarnate that, like, he's number 1. I think the other one had it a lot better that it's inconsistent, so it's hard to rate him, so they put him at number 3, because he's really powerful, but he's inconsistent. So that's the same thing, like, if you're in sports, which I know you were, but, like, coaches sometimes, the best player is not always MVP. The MVP is normally the most consistent player. So sometimes the MVP may be like the 2nd or 3rd best player, but because he's that good every single game, like 9 out of 10 games, he's very consistent, and the best players are hot shot.
That's the reason why we're so scared of Dr. Doom a lot, because he's not the number 1 mind, he's not the
but he's very consistent,
but he's always number 2, and even when Tony isn't number 1 anymore or whatever.
Yeah, because you can always count on him to be at his best game. So even though he's the 2nd most powerful sorcerer, his armor is 2nd to Tony's. He's like the 2nd at a lot of stuff, but he's always at that level compared to like Tony's glitches. Doctor Strange sometimes has whatever. You know, like he's consistently the 2nd best. So if the number 1 best hero is having a bad day, he's gonna beat him. And that's, you know, like that's why like I fear Doctor Doom more than other villains who are so much more powerful. That's why in the Secret War episode, I was like, we have to take him out first, because I do not want him to know we're here, you know? Because you just don't know with him. He's consistently, you know, that good. And so that's why, like, Silver Surfer they put lower.
On the other list, not this one.
Yeah, not this list. This they put him as number 1. The other list, they put Thor as number 1, and I kind of agree with that because of how they said. Not necessarily.
Number 2 was Superman, right?
Was Superman,
and Silver Surfer.
Yeah, through the Silver Surfer. I not necessarily agree that Thor's number 1, but I agree with why they said it. I think they did it. If it was a debate class, I would have said, okay, I may not 100% agree, but I agree with your reasoning, your logic. Therefore,
I don't think
I'm not
you're
going to
wrong,
debate.
But I'm not sure what would be right.
And their point was essentially, if I was going to sum it down, they basically said. Thor, here's how they describe Thor, essentially. I'll use less words, maybe. I don't know, maybe there's more. But they basically called Thor, they said, he's as strong as Superman, he's as invulnerable as Superman, and because of his hammer, he basically is wielding the Silver Surfer in his hand. Is essentially what like they were saying. I know I just said the word essentially a lot, but that's pretty powerful. You're as strong as Superman, you're as invulnerable as him, also he's immortal. And you have the Silver Surfer in the palm of your hand. Like, that's pretty, you know, it's not 100% accurate. He's probably not as strong as Superman.
That makes him basically the Kobe of superheroes.
His hammer probably isn't quite as powerful as Silver Surfer, but the combination of a lot together, they said, he's number 1. I was like, okay, I can buy that. I may not 100% agree, but I can buy that. I'm not going to argue that.
That's one heck of a strong sauce right there.
Yeah.
Mixing it together.
It is true. So, with that, that's done. Again, you can read both of those, plus a lot more. You can also, another one, I didn't read all the way through it. We kind of skimmed through it. It was pretty funny. There's also a top 10, lamest characters of all time. And just to throw out some names, they had Arm Fall Off Boy, Matter Eater Lad. What was that? They had one that was lightning hit a mannequin, and he basically became like more powerful than Superman. But he ran off.
But he was a flower child.
But he was a hippie who preached love and peace, and then flew off into space. And it was to be continued, and it was like 30 years before they ever did anything. So like, there's some dumb stuff. So
They kind of wrote it as if like that was 30 years ago, and they still haven't.
Okay, maybe they still haven't. Okay, so I think it was Jack Kirby, right?
I think they said Steve Ditko.
Oh, okay. I don't know why.
Maybe.
I don't know why I thought.
Although you did mention Jack Kirby several times.
Yeah.
Maybe
it was a combination of them or something. Yeah. But I don't know. Okay, so anyways, I think we're going to take a quick break just because I want to reset the camera because it only will record for so much at one time, and I don't quite know how long that is. And we'll come back with...
we'll just look up and the light's not on anymore.
Yeah, and
how much did they just miss?
It really sucks. We hate when that happens.
It's usually right when